In the Bible, the first verse of the Bible is a very powerful verse. In beginnings, God, the word there's Elohim, created, formed from nothing, the heavens and the earth. Period. In order for someone to create anything, they must begin with nothing. That is why creation is ascribed only to God. Because only God could start with nothing and produce something. This is why no other being that exists or no other thing that exists can be greater than God. Because God produced it. Are you with me? That includes all the angels, seraphims, cherubims. It includes even the one who got fired. They are all products of God. That includes you, because God created you. Before anything was created, everything was in God. Because everything that is was created by God. So before God created anything, there was nothing except God. So there was a time when there was nobody but God. And there was nothing but God. But God, being a creative God, started to do what is naturally God. He began to produce. And so he created. So he is the only one who is creator. There is no other creator, because nobody else could start with nothing. We hear people say often, I created this house. I created this piece of artwork. That's wrong. That's impossible. Because the moment you use something to do it, you are no longer a creator. So your house was made from things God created. The clothing you wear is from a sheep that God made. Therefore, you created nothing, you made the clothing. This is why God has a problem with idol worship. Because when you worship an idol, you're worshiping something that is less than God. So when Satan told Jesus, the last temptation was, if you bow down and worship me, I will give you all the powers and the authorities of the great cities of the world. Jesus' response was very appropriate. He said, get away from me, because we shall worship God only, and only him shall we serve. What did Satan ask for? Worship. What did Jesus say? There's only one person worth worshiping, and that's the one who made you, Lucifer. That's why we should not worship anything but God. Everybody say God. It's a singular. Now, let's take a look then at some of these statements made in this chapter. Let's dig into this a little bit. After God had created the heavens and the earth, in verse 1, that's a statement of emphatic declaration. Then in chapter 1 of the Bible, God reveals to Moses the process he used. In verse 2 of the Bible, we have a problem, don't we? In verse 2 it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Remember verse 2? Write these down, please. There are three things wrong with verse 2. One, the Bible says it was without form. That means it was out of formal order. So number one problem was disorder. There was no order to the planet. Secondly, the problem was it was void. The word void in the Hebrew language means chaos or confusion. And the third problem in verse 2 is darkness. The Bible says that there was darkness covering the whole earth. Now these three